Hi, everyone. If I could have your attention for just 1 minute, it is my pleasure and honor now to introduce our performance for this evening. And student, yeah. I forgot the title of the show. Work in Progress, Student Voice in the Arts. So this is not totally scripted, as you can tell. So enjoy the show. There will be videos on the screens in between each of the performances. So enjoy this remarkable talent about to be on display.
I really like directing because I love seeing things come together and I like the creative process of it. Being able to decide where someone stands or how someone moves their hand is pretty influential to a play because theater is like full of subtle and big, extravagant tropes and just things that you have to do. It's really interesting to be the person who gets to decide that, but also to see what the actors choose to do.
I personally feel like I can express myself in ways I can't with words. It's a way for me to kind of escape from, I don't want to say reality, but like use my imagination a little bit more. Like I get caught up with like the world, and sometimes I just have to let it all out onto like a piece of paper, so it really helps me express myself that way.
What I love about photography is it allows you to capture memories and make them into tangible objects. When you're older, you can flip through a photo book and be reminded of your times at a certain place or the memories involved with that. It also allows me to connect with my community or other communities that I've grown close to through portraits of my friends, through candids at school dances. Photography in general has allowed me to come out of my shell and become a more sociable person.
I love music because it really just allows me to experiment. I love just expressing myself with arts. I think it's fun. It's new. You get away from your studying. It gives you just a medium to explore.
Pomfret's given me a bunch of experiences. When Mr. Lamb first approached me and he was like, hey, do you want to direct the fall play? I didn't even know that was a possibility, and that's something that I didn't expect to do until college. So that was a really amazing opportunity that I was able to do now, and it's been an amazing experience so far.
I never got the chance to use different types of mediums. I only used like pencils and color pencils, never really learned how to blend. And last year during my honors painting and drawing class with JP, he introduced me to like pastels, and ever since then I've loved using it.
At Pomfret especially, we have access to a great darkroom, which you can use to develop film. And prior to that, I was mostly shooting on a digital DSLR, so I didn't have the opportunity to develop my own film. But with Miss Lehman's help and guidance, who's been an awesome mentor for me here at Pomfret, I've really been learning the intricacies of developing film, how to shoot in film, proper exposure, and kind of the basics of photos that I didn't receive in a formal education type setting before.
Well, one thing Pomfret has done is mainly offer me just the time and the space to play music. It's offered me a class, chamber orchestra this term. It's offered me private instruction lessons outside of class. It's also given me opportunities to play outside of class, in chapel places. There's opportunities to play in school meeting, just a lot of different places to explore and just to put my music out there.
I love music for a couple different reasons. One being the sense of excitement you get when you finally do something that you've been practicing so hard on, like that sense of achievement when you finally get that drum fill right, or that guitar riff, or that chord progression. You play it right for the first time, and it's just so exciting. And the sense of community that comes with playing in an ensemble is really great. Like whether it be a full-on orchestra or just like a little rock band that you threw together with some friends, it can be really, I don't know, just kind of heartwarming, it's fun.
I love ceramics because it gives me a way to express myself through my hands and through an art form that's a lot different than many others.
For me personally, singing is kind of like an outlet. I feel like today I get very stressed out a lot in classes and stuff, and like singing just lets me kind of release all that and just kind of be myself. I prefer singing in jazz just because I think I have more of kind of a muskier, heavy voice when I sing, especially when I sing alto. And so just any jazz piece just kind of gets me feeling free.
3D animation gives me a lot of room to dream about things. So when I look around the world, I'm seeing these many sort of abstract ideas, and I'm wondering how can I sort of take that into a world where I can essentially make anything. How can I bring meaning or emphasize that meaning in a computer world, and how can I make it better? So that's what I'm constantly doing when I'm thinking about 3D animation.
I've never done production before, and that's something that I got to do here for the first time. It was my first time working in a studio, like a acoustically made booth, and working with the equipment and putting together something which is my own, which I can actually show to people without actually having to sit there and play it for them. And be able to compose something which is more than just what I'm capable of on my own.
So I have a hard time articulating my thoughts and then putting them into art, and so in ceramics, when I was introduced to ceramics, I was able to really express myself and express my thoughts and put it out there with what I wanted to create, whereas I can't really do that in other arts.
I think a lot of not big group singing, because like when I was in middle school, we had like a big chorus with like 30 people, and it couldn't really be that like one-on-one sort of experimentation with really honing in each section, just kind of getting the part right, and rather just like everyone doing their own thing. And then also the lessons, like where I am, there aren't really many singing opportunities, so here I'm able to actually explore all that.
I've received a lot of mentorship I wouldn't have had elsewhere. Mr. Frond has been a great mentor to me, and because before I really sort of had taken a class here, I was kind of muddling around with different things. I didn't really know what to do. But then when I took 2 semesters of Mr. Fronda's 3D animation and design class, I was given a lot of direction actually, and it was really helpful. I was able to focus on one thing in particular. Mr. Fronda would help me, and then we can sort of give feedback.
Yo que tanto te cambié, y tú me la haciendo que tú de ahí no sales.
rhythm in my chest, just breathe. I will stay, so the lantern in your heart won't fade. The secrets you tell me, I'll take to my grave. There's bones in my closet, but you hang stuff anyway. And if you have nightmares, we'll dance on the bed. I know that you love me, even when I lose my head. Guillotine. Guillotine. Even when I lose my head. Guillotine.
I would really say that I love acting because I think people has a limited amount of time within their lives and they can read as many books as they wanted to, But I think reading books is just like secondhand experience. But being an actor allows you to live someone else's life in just your own perspective. You can be a doctor, you can be a lawyer, you can be a beggar within just the same day. And I think that's really cool about acting. And also maybe emotions that you can't really express elsewhere. You're really safe to do it in front of a camera. You're really safe to do it on a stage.
I feel like because personally I don't talk a lot, so dance is kind of a way for me to express myself. And I don't know, dance is just, they have so many range and so many styles that it can be sad, can be happy, feels like very safe and very free to express myself through dance.
I like photography because I feel like there's so many things that you can do with it. I think that you can choose really anything out of what you want to take pictures of, like people, which is so good, especially at Pomfret, because there's so many different types of people here that it's so fun to take portraits. So I think that's really one of the best things about photography, and just doing whatever you want with it.
I grew up listening to the Chili Peppers, and in like 7th grade, my brothers always had guitars hung up in their room, but I always saw them and I never really thought anything of it, but eventually I just decided I wanted to play guitar, and as time went on I realized that's like all I want to do in my life. It's the only thing I've ever really like felt a passion for.
Well, I have always been a shy kid before I came to Pomfret. I didn't really like to talk with others before. Communication was hard for me. But then Pomfret gave me a chance to get onto the stage and really demonstrate who I am as an actor, as a person, and you really just pushed me out there onto the stage. And I guess I catch the chance, and I presented myself through different characters and different plays.
So before I came to Pomfret, I only focused on one genre of dance, and one type of music. But when I came here, Miss Jolly showed me a lot of contemporary or jazz or different style and different music, and I kind of I realized that dance can be so much more than just this one style, and it could be a lot of style, and I can do everything with props, settings, lights, my attitude and expression and stuff.
Some types of photography I've been able to explore is things like film cameras. I had never been able to go into a dark room and figure out how to do all of the things, all the certain little steps that you have to do in the dark room. I'd never done that before, and it's just really cool to do and to learn how to do, especially when it's so complicated, because it was all in the dark, and it was really cool to kind of experience, even if it doesn't come out really right because of all the different steps and everything. I think the dark room and film cameras was one of the biggest things that I got to explore.
I don't know, people normally don't play with me at home. There'll be one friend that has a guitar and will play with me, but nobody ever wants to play drums, and here I've found so many drummers that want to play with me, so I've never really done that before, or once before I've done it, but it's fun to consistently have people to play with and jam with. And I started singing, which I've never done before.
Look where it comes! Mark and Horatio, it will be spoke to. What art thou? By heaven, I charge thee, speak!
You gotta be quicker than that.
Cock-a-doodle-doo! 'Tis gone. It's what to speak about when a cock crew.
Break we our watch up, and by my advice, let us impart what we have seen tonight onto
Hamlet, Prince of Denmark.
Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt so and resolve itself into a dew, that it should come to this 2 months dead, so loving to my mother. Filthy! Thy name is woman, yet you, married with mine uncle, my father's brother, thy funeral baked meats, they coldly furnish for the marriage tables.
My lord!
Horatio!
I think I saw the king, your father, yesterday night.
'Tis very strange. I shall watch tonight. Oh, it's not well, but the night will come.
Look, my lord, it comes!
Oh, angels and ministers of grace defend us. Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Mark me.
Speak, I am bound to hear.
So art thou to revenge when thou shalt hear. If ever thou didst thy dear father love, revenge his foul soul and most unnatural Murther.
Murther?
The serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown.
My uncle?
Your uncle?
Let not the royal bed of Denmark become a couch for incest.
Incest?
A couch!
Adieu, Hamlet, remember me.
This is strange, my lord.
There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamed of in your philosophy. So piss off. I shall thereafter meet to put on an antique disposition. The time is out of joint. Oh, cursed spite that ever I was born to exit right.
Neither a borrower or a lender be. Oh no, Ophelia! What's the matter?
My lord, as I was sewing in my closet, Lord Handel with his doublet all embraced. So piteous and purpotent feeling with loosed out of hell. He comes before me.
Mad for thy love?
I know not.
Why, this is the very ecstasy of love. Huh. I have found the cause for Hamlet's lunacy. Since brevity is the soul of wit, I will be brief. He is mad!
I am but mad northwest. When the wind is southerly, I know a huck from a hand, so I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father in front of my uncle. Observe his looks. If you do but bench, I know the course. The place, the thing where you now catch the conscience of the king. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles by opposing and them.
Act 3, Scene 2. A famous play within a play scene in which Hamlet discovers conclusive evidence that his uncle killed his father.
Oh, my lord, hear this piece of work.
Hey, and the king too, presently.
And now, how is my cousin Hamlet and my son?
A little more than kin, less than kind.
Hamlet, I have nothing with this answer. These words are not mine.
Take a seat, my lord.
Hey, you, buddy, you're out of here. King of Denmark seat. Let's go. The Royal Theatre of Denmark proudly presents The Murder of Gonzago. My Lord, Act 1.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Whoa! Oh, the king rises!
Give o'er the play. Lights away.
I'll take the ghost word for £1,000.
My lord, the queen wishes to speak with you in her closet.
Then I will come to my mother.
Behind the arras, I shall hide to hear the process. Where's the goddamn arras in this joint?
Hamlet,
Now, mother, what's the matter?
thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother? You have my father? Much offended?
What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me. Help! Help!
Oh no! Help! Rat! Dead for a decade. Dead.
Hamlet, where is Polonius?
At supper?
At supper, where?
Not where he eats, where he's eaten.
Oh no, it's Laertes.
O
Son of
thou,
Polonius.
thou king, give me my father. I'll be revenged for Polonius' murder. Lay her in the earth, and from her fair and unpolluted flesh may violets spring.
Sweets to the sweet. Farewell.
What is he whose grief bears such magnificence? This is I, Hamlet the Great Dane.
Gentlemen, Hamlet Laertes.
The devil take thy soul!
I will fight with him until my eyelids no longer wag. Give us the folios.
Come, one for me.
Now be careful. Those are sharp.
Come, sir.
Come, my lord.
One.
No!
Judgment.
A hit, a very palpable hit. Hamlet, here's to thy health. Drink off this cup.
Nah, settle by a while.
The queen carouses to thy fortune, Hamlet.
Let up, do not drink.
Oh, I will, my lord. I pray you pardon me.
It's the poison cup. It's too late.
Come for the third Laertes. How does the queen?
She swoons to see thy bleed.
No, the drink. The drink. I am poisoned.
Oh, villainy, treachery. Seek it out.
It is here, Hamlet. Here I lie, never to rise again. I can no more. The king's to blame.
The point, venom, do thy work. Here thou, follow my mother.
Forgive me, Hamlet. I'm just killed by my own treachery.
Heaven make thee free of it. I follow thee.
I love dance because it makes me have to approach art in a very different way, and it really stretches the creative side of my brain because dance is so personal, and it has so much emotion tied up into it because a choreography can be really simple and maybe like 30 seconds long, but it means so much to the choreographer or the person who's involved in it, or it could be very extravagant with props and settings. So there's such a big range of what dance can be.
Art can incorporate just a bunch of different things in like different genres, and you're always putting yourself into that piece, and you're always expressing your emotions via that piece or via that medium. And I think that can just be really fun and almost therapeutic.
So the best part about this stuff for me is I've never been a particularly amazing artist. I'm trying to work on that now. But sort of once you get into a computer or you start building with tangible objects rather than space on a paper, you can create whatever you want. Like right here, I created this cannon just on a whim. Like I got into the program that we were using and just started making circles and squares and everything, and eventually it just turned into this.
So there's a lot of art around Pomfret campus, like in all the buildings and stuff, there's a lot of art. But a lot of that art I think was created with the goal of like, oh, I'm gonna create this piece of art and then I'm just gonna put it up somewhere, or my teacher's gonna put it up somewhere. And it's really about creating a piece of art to be engaged with and about like the specific message that the art is saying and where it's going.
Well, before I came to Pomfret, I never actually had any experience with dance. I mostly just focused on music and writing, but then I came here and I was kind of forced to do dance because of the freshman immersion program, but then I immediately fell in love with it, and now I do the dance company, and then there's competitions like during the spring where you get to show off talent, and I do that with Jade. So Pomfret was the place where I kind of fell in love with dance, and it's also the place where I get to improve and become a better dancer.
I've been able to do a lot of things. Like here was the first time that I was able to actually create a piece that was almost the same size as me, which was pretty cool to be able to do that. And I was even able to sell a couple of my pieces to teachers, and that was really awesome. And being able to do a commission for those same teachers was just really fun to be able to do.
So last spring, I competed at Worcester Polytechnic, sort of in a 3D design, 3D printing challenge, and I actually took second place with a design called GriffGuard that I had built to sort of protect your Mac laptop charger. It was sort of a response to, there was an article that had come out about houses actually burning down and there being a potential fire hazard as a result of these sort of AC adapters, the block that's in the middle of the charger. So that was an unreal experience.
Yeah, so just the entire concept of having an art class where I'm the only student is like insane to me. I was telling Ms. McLeod, the last art class that I took at my public school had 30 kids in it and was 4 classes combined into one. It was 2 different levels of portfolio prep and 2 different types of AP art combined into one class with 30 kids and 1 teacher. The entire experience of working with Ms. McLeod and like creating something and then being like, okay, what's a better way we can do this? And like driving to Lowe's with my teacher to buy PVC pipe for an art project is just like an incredible opportunity. I love.
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 I love to.
I love.
I love.
I love to.
I love.
I love.
I love.
I absolutely love
3D design.
Creating large-scale public art.
Dance.
To create art.
Dance.
Taking pictures.
Music.
Playing guitar.
Sing.
3D animation.
Music.
Using bright colors in my paintings.
Directing.
Photography.
Acting.
I'm living right here and now, and I don't wanna miss out. Is this what life's all about? The world is calling, and I'm listening. And I'm listening.
I feel the freedom inside. Come on, let's go for a ride. I finally opened my eyes and I can see it so clearly. So clearly. Life is but a dream. And isn't it amazing? Oh, life can be amazing. Oh, I feel my heart be racing. I fly so
from the song wrapped it up pretty well. It's amazing. Humbling talent on display there. Pardon the interruption. It's better. My first year here as head of school, the family weekend, we had 7 inches of snow. So we'll take the brief interlude there. So as we prepare now to go out into the night, I want to take a moment to thank you, parents and grandparents, families, and friends, for being a part of this weekend. I'd like to extend my thanks and appreciation, gratitude, and deep admiration for the performers and the faculty members tonight for sharing their talents with us. So if we could give them all one more round of applause. I want to thank Brielle Dubois and Carolyn Hetrick and the team from Pomfret Dining Services for a fabulous meal this evening. Thank you, Brielle and Carolyn. Thank you. Our extraordinary facilities crew with Brenda Bullied and Jim Humes at the helm for putting this all together, setting this all up. So thanks to those great people. And then finally, the sort of the mastermind behind tonight's event, orchestrating on all levels. I want to express to all the members of the advancement team, but most particularly to Judith Wong for her work in presenting this evening to you all. So thank you. So that wraps things up. I look forward to seeing you all throughout the course of the weekend, if it's not later on at the bonfire, which is coming up shortly. Tomorrow, during the course of the day, parents, if you're interested, I give a school update at 1:15 tomorrow. I welcome you all to come to that. And then at games to celebrate the end of Family Weekend. So thanks everyone so much for coming, and have a wonderful evening.